All right, hi everyone. So this is my second collaborative tool analysis. It is Mural, and it has a lot of really cool options. You do have to set up an account. There is an option for a free trial, some pricing options here. You do have to subscribe. They give you a little bit of a discount if you pay for the year, or at least subscribe for the year, whereas if you just sign up on a monthly basis, they're going to charge you a little bit more. Frequently asked questions down here, which is nice. You can kind of click on them and get some information about some things as people are how they're using it or how they troubleshoot some things. And then some information down there at the bottom. So getting into my room, as they call the organization of all the different murals on your like home board or home page. There's some options here in how you can organize them, unstar versus starred. I would assume that the starred ones would probably be put together. You can delete rooms, move them, things like that, duplicate them, which would be really helpful with a classroom if you're teaching multiple sections of the same class. Is there a way to take the board that you have, make duplicates of it so that, you know, different groups can work on each of the individual boards. Some things that are really strong with this collaborative tool, one of them is visual lists. So if you go into templates, it is very visual in pretty much all aspects. So this is really great for those visual learners, creative individuals, people who really like to organize by color. This is really great for that. So pretty much anything you make on here, you can make as creative as you want. So that's a really strong aspect for sharing. And what happens is they have a really nice video as a startup at the beginning as you're getting into it. And they kind of walk you through the basics of it and how groups can, you know, work on the same board at the same time collaboratively. I see a lot of aspects that would be beneficial in a business situation. But like I said in my last video, I teach high schoolers. So this definitely seems like it's geared more towards the upper levels. It does require a little bit more than that last, than the Stormboard tool. But it does have a lot of capabilities in the school setting as well, outside of, you know, the business setting in terms of brainstorming in that sense. As I was touching on in my last video, there's a really great concept map mural here, and I already started to try and fill it out. And there's some zoom options, so you can zoom in and zoom out. There's different versions. This would be really great as I was setting up here for my renewable energy, biofuel, solar, hydroelectric, wind, maybe different versions of it or different ways you can harvest it, different locations where you can find it, things like that. And I also teach biology, and right off the bat, sorry, the zoom is very touchy. These look a lot like diagrams you see in a biology book in terms of organization of life and origins of life, and I could definitely see capabilities within my bio classes of using these concept maps as well. So you just go back up here to the dashboard, and again, those can be all added to collaboratively. One drawback I was seeing in terms of the social aspect is the ability for groups to work together. So it does populate in real time, so groups would be able to work on the same mural at the same time, and it would be live. But in the video, the startup video where they give you a little bit of information about how to use it, one thing I saw was the people were on Google Hangouts at the same time, or some sort of video streaming at the same time they were working on the mural. So it seems like this is a point where we would have two collaborative tools working together in order to really make good use of the time together. So it seems like it would be a struggle without a chat option. But again, this seems to be one of those collaborative tools that you could also use in a traditional class, where everybody's in the same space and you're working together, but you can populate the same diagram at the same time, which would be really helpful. If we go back to here, I'll click on examples. So this is a great place to kind of get your brain going as to what you could use your mural for. And again, here's where that creative aspect comes in, where you can organize So this is the superhero poster design, where you can kind of organize all your thoughts in one place, or if you're working within a group. Again, it functions for both collaboration and independent work. And if I go back to some other examples here, experience mapping, and a lot of these can tend to be brainstorming options, like I said, in the business setting. But these ones here show you kind of your emotions, feelings, pain points, opportunities, things like that, in relationship to the prompt, in a sense. There isn't a whole lot of opportunity for media sharing in the sense of videos and audio and things like that, but you can, as you can see from this dashboard here, the opportunities for images are endless. So that's a really great feature that this has. Another, let's see here. So it lacks that discussion part in terms of accessory to the board itself. But the idea of it being used for product development, the management of a product or the organization of a project, this would be really great for that, especially in some sort of creative aspect. So I think it does a good job for that, and especially looking at so effective association, community cohesion, interaction, intensity. So that ties in very similarly to what I was saying with the storm board, in that a lot of that's going to be kind of instructor driven in terms of the expectation of the assignment. So setting clear academic standards where they know exactly what it is they should be doing. So I think the format of the assignment is very important in the sense that it would guide the outcome of the mural itself. But students are going to be directly collaborating. They're going to be adding relevant content, either personal images or images that they find or experiences they have in relationship to the project or assignment. They are most definitely posting all in one space. They are formatting, so although they have the templates, as you can see here, the design is varied, and really there's so many capabilities in terms of how they can organize it or format it, and there's, you know, endless opportunities in terms of the limited, what they could use it for on the most basic level to really big, large projects where they're kind of using it ongoing. And I thought it'd be cool even to have a mural per class, and if you work on it throughout the year, one thing they were talking about in the introductory video was you can zoom in and zoom out, which is really cool. So you can kind of see certain parts of the bigger picture, but then you can zoom out and see the whole picture. And I thought that was really cool if you're trying to do something progressively over the course, you know, of several weeks or the entire school year or something like that, where you can see the progress visually over the course of the year. It does populate in real time, so that's great, so that they can kind of pick up on other points and add to it. It is completely guided by students, and it does require, you know, the knowledge of the teacher in order to really develop an appropriate project or assignment to utilize this resource. So I don't think it is as easily used across the board, especially K-12. I couldn't imagine this below, you know, 7th or 8th grade at the latest, or at the earliest. But I do see there's applications in a lot of different senses, and definitely more so as I look at these images in any kind of art electives or any art course, in organizing, you know, even color schemes or you know, drawing samples, or, you know, maybe you create a portfolio using this and you photograph all of your work throughout the year, and that's one way to kind of catalog what you've accomplished. So I really do think it hits a lot of the marks needed, but it most definitely is lacking in its ability to have any kind of chat feature. And like I said in the video, they overlapped this with another collaborative tool, a video streaming or something like that, where they'd be able to communicate in real time outside of the mural. And I think that's key to the success of this program.